Hi, traders. It's 11 a.m. EST means it's time for Mike and me. And Mike, how are you today? Pretty good downdraft in the market. Really started Friday. It's like, Friday, no matter what you did during the week, Friday made the week. And we're getting follow through to that sell-off.
Yes.
Your impressions of the sell-off in front of the Fed. Can Powell save this and turn it tomorrow?
Well, first of all, a couple of things. It would just there's still places to hide. You know what? It's just like they did on the way up. They're selling this. They're selling the weak ones low. They're selling lower, and they're still buying higher.
Okay.
A lot of these stocks, like you said, have held on and just finally gave out. For example, I'll use a couple of them later today, but
Well, this is something I talked about you last Thursday.
yes.
Quote unquote, I said, Mike, what lit up Amazon? And you said, well, Dale, 52-week highs. And then I went to the weekly. I go, well, that's great, but Microsoft and Apple made new highs. All we did in Amazon was retrace the 2022 decline. And anyone, you better do some online shopping to help Amazon out, because within a matter of 3 days, we're threatening the 50-day moving average right here, and not a good look. Also, I was showing the Russell,
No, that's
which
the bad one. That's the one.
it's been the one that's done nothing all, throughout this rally. But what's cool? The right shoulder of this big head and shoulders top is also head and shoulders top. And we're threatening actually breaking down out of the neckline. Measures pretty deep, measures back towards the May lows.
Don't two head
Also,
and shoulders cancel themselves out?
no, no, because the right shoulder, still the right shoulder. I
I was
don't
being
have to.
facetious.
Oh yeah. Well, I think it leaves your hair cleaner. At
Yeah.
least that's what was the name of that uh, linebacker for Pittsburgh?
Mean
Who
Joe
did
Green?
all? No, he did all the
Oh, Troy Polamalu.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah. So
He
anyway, it
cost me a couple
helped.
of over-unders, but that's okay.
All
Uh,
right. So
but Coach, you know
anyway,
what? Everybody's cheering the calendar now. I was right. September,
oh, okay. Yeah.
everybody's saying the calendar is right. Seasonality last 10 days.
Yeah.
Bravo, you got it right. We'll see what
Yeah.
happens.
Yeah. And the people that are saying that, most of them are saying this is just, they're going to get long in October and look for a melt up into the year end. That's a consensus view, that this is just a little, pause that refreshes. We get through the negative seasonality and we're off to the races again. That I don't think it's a layup. Okay. I know that there'll be people buying it, especially if we get to targets I've been talking about for a while in the S&Ps down around 4,200. We're a lot closer now than we were last week, but I still think this is a
What's
viable
that line? What's
target.
that red line?
This line,
Yeah.
it's my red spaghetti line indicator.
Okay.
I just really
Is this is
I
this a proprietary product?
yes, I sell it for $9,000.99. So
Okay.
actually here it is. The spaghetti indicator is projecting, now that we're back in the megaphone, 3,000 S&P by
I'm
the spring.
Italian, and I've been
Huh?
trading for almost 30 years, and I've never heard the spaghetti indicator. So see, everyone that's learning here, including Alexis, you're always
Yeah.
learning. So I'm here not because I am gonna, I'm here because I might miss something that is happening. So I
Yeah,
wouldn't have known
well,
about the spaghetti indicator.
so I mean, there you are. I mean, I think I'm the only one. I invented it, and I have kind of shaky hands at this stage of my life, so I had a little squiggle
It's
here.
almost like the thickness of Helene's pencil.
Anyway, thanks for noticing my new indicator, and people could reach out if they're interested. You know what? I'm going to give it away for free for anyone who is watching us right now.
Mhm.
And what you do is you just, you go to Trading View and you hit the brush there, and then you just post it on any high or low. Let's use this low.
What about, hold on, longer time frames? Do I turn it into a painting so it's
And
thicker?
and then you
Or
just loop,
linguini?
and then you
Because the longer we go
loop
out, it turns it. That's
loop
angel
the
hair.
loop. Okay, so all right, Mike, enough silly. You know what? I scalped the gold on the short side,
Nice trade.
but
That was
I
supposed
but
to be a
I
TGH.
but I have to admit, with the market weak, gold's holding up great.
Yeah, it is.
Silver's not going to hold up as good, but it's holding up okay too.
The stocks are
Uh,
acting weaker, though.
yeah, because they're stocks,
That's correct.
right? Is you think that's part of it? Here's GDX. I'd love to see one more low down towards 24. I'm still looking for it. We'll see what
24?
happens. 24 in the GDX.
All right.
Because I don't think this double bottom, a lot of people are saying that's it, the lows are in, right? Because here we've had two tests of this 27 level.
I'm interested.
Right here, see this? Last February. And then
Okay.
we tagged it again. And I would have been more bullish if we had taken out this low. But now all these longs feel pretty comfortable. And I think there's going to be a big liquidation break if we take out 27 next time and could take us down to 25 or so. So that's a break I'm looking for to buy the miners. I've been saying the same thing. I'm like a broken
Fair.
record for a while.
Yeah.
So what are you seeing in sweeps today, buddy? Anyone buying VIX calls on sweeps?
Yes, they are.
Okay, because pretty decent action. I know it's a heartbreak. It's kind of like natural gas, the VIX, but we're right here at a 50-day moving average. We're putting in a reversal week, and then 18 is the next stop. And then if
The
we go through,
NASDAQ is taking, the SQQQs are taking more flow than anything because, as you can see on your screen, crude and natural gas are up. And
yeah,
although the commodity gold is weak, the gold stocks are weak, the commodities, of course, of natural gas and crude have
great,
been stronger lately. So those
great
stocks are holding up
observation.
a little bit more.
Yeah,
But
great.
that's why they're going into the queues. As I posted several times this morning.
Yeah, they're going into the short queues because we have inflation markets working. So, I mean, yeah, I think the market will be surprised if the Fed raises the rates tomorrow. I think most are looking for them to, uh, be data dependent and take a
That's
month
fair.
off and maybe do it again in November. So the banks, Mike, one thing I noticed is, and I learned a lesson, is the sweeps that you were seeing were in the money center banks.
That's correct.
Okay. And they actually it's still possible they could pull back, and here's
Morgan Stanley.
cities holding up pretty good. Yeah, so Morgan Stanley too, here's the XLF.
Right.
Doesn't look that ugly.
Well, if
Um
you compare it to the S&P, it looks pretty
okay.
good.
So the mistake I made was I figured, well, banks are banks, but I covered my regionals, my shorts, based upon that money flow. And look, they look like they're breaking down with the Russell. So lesson learned for me. So when I learn lessons, I like to share them with people so they don't have to live through the mental
That's fair. That's why
stuff.
we are here, actually.
Okay, so
Well
you
put.
see sweeps and money centers, don't extrapolate it to something that's more of a special situation, like the regional banks all being in trouble. Okay, so that's what I did, and still looks negative to me. So what kind of sweeps are you seeing today, buddy?
I'm seeing what's going on here. I'm seeing sweeps, as I noted. Why my chart's not working? In TGH, hold on a second. In TGH, I punched up. Oh, here it goes. Hold on.
I'm
Cancel.
going to share. I'm going to let you take control of the screen now.
All right. Hold on a second.
I saw on YouTube, someone commented, one of the comments was that you're a natural on camera.
Yeah.
How about that?
No, I appreciate that. I'm really
No.
looking to give, what am I doing here? Where's my screen? Hold on a second. I'm trying to get on my charts and I apologize.
Okay, it's okay. Are they you know, what's interesting today? I watched your stream yesterday and there were some sweeps in Amazon. There were call sweeps in Amazon, and your comment was, I'm not paying attention to this one. Why? You remember that?
Because okay, the bigger the bigger market cap the stock is, the more they're likely to hedge it because it's that liquid of a stock.
Okay.
And Amazon, let me split through. Amazon was, what is going on here? I'm going back to my day trading days. I'm going fast into my charts. Amazon was something that had a nice run that I thought they were going to try, that they would hedge with. That's all. It's not like they were taking the negative type of puts like a square.
Well, they were buying call. It was a call sweep.
A call sweep. Well, I forget how long they were going out for.
Okay.
I didn't catch it. I didn't put, you know what? I didn't put much prudence into it. Obviously, I forget what happened, but it was irrelevant. Now you see the stock down today, so it wasn't a call sweep that I put any credence in.
Yeah, that's on the verge of a breakdown.
What I did see, and just let me go back for a second. The only sweeps that I posted yesterday, because the really were the only ones that were happening on an aggressive nature, were these.
Allstate. I saw that.
Allstate, and these were the ones. And by the way, I please watch yesterday's video. If you want to watch yesterday's video, for those that are newer, go to our red YouTube channel and watch our videos. Yesterday, my video garnered 783. The day before, Coach and I almost 400. And I'm sure, just like our videos, it's quality of viewers over quality over quantity. The bottom line is, let me go to the charts. And I said I haven't punched up Aflac literally in a couple of years. So when I saw Allstate, here's our chart, taking nice sweeps into yesterday. By the way, breaking that downtrend line. Then I looked at AIG, also taking massive leaps in AIG. Now the market is a little bit overbought. The market is, pulled back a little bit. AIG, let's look at it today. I mean, even if you wanted to take a little money off the table, in a very weak tape, it closed at 61.70. The high of the day was 62.50. It's not a barn burner, but it's going the right way. It's a nice position if you played option flow in a trend. When the market, I'm always mixed, and this is helping me a little bit. So in a market that's very weak, I followed the option flow, the right areas, considering that there were some money centers. It's a financial, if you will, AIG as well as Allstate. I know I'm not rooting, it's insurance. Well, obviously it's insurance. But that was the only flow yesterday. And by the way, that was the type of flow you wanted to see, whether it was going with the trend. The market was weak. And you know what? Maybe with those AIG leaps that they're going into, believe me, this stock has the longer, older you are, we all know what the story on this stock is, but this stock has it in it. For AIG to go up higher, that's a post-split. There was an Ace Greenberg thing. Remember that thing, Coach? Yeah. I mean, it was one of the more problematic. It was like Tyco. It was one of the more problematic stocks out there. Now they got lean and clean, mean and lean. It's, several years before after it. So now they're taking AIG leaps into now they're going into Aflac. Now that I looked at Allstate, now I looked at Aflac. Now I looked at
it's amazing. Company. It's amazing what reverse splits can make a stock look like for more time. I mean, there were probably several reverse splits of AIG after the problems of 08. I mean, it was almost worthless, right?
Carvana is down 10%. Well, Coach, yes.
That doesn't look good. That's a pretty, short term. Yeah.
This Instacart IPO is going public today. ARM came public, which may, what
is it? What is ARM?
ARM is but this institution, I don't know what the future was. Yes, it's true. ARM is like it's like a Nevada. It's like a
okay. It's an AI stock.
Yeah, Carvana was low. So the bottom line is, it's if you didn't make your money now, as of this Tuesday afternoon going into Powell tomorrow, you either have a big winner a big loser or you're gambling. And if you have a big loser, cut the weeds and water the flowers, and maybe someone's hedging like Amazon. But bottom line is, if you didn't do anything now, and I'll look at the sweepers.
Is there any negative news on Amazon?
No, I didn't see any.
Well,
but
that's more bearish.
It is bearish. That's correct. Chewy, bullish. Here we go right here. Let's go to a couple of wise guys things. Tupperware, GLW, MGM. So I look at the last, 20 minutes, and I'm looking at Chewy and MGM. So nothing sexy. There's the IWM, coach.
Yeah.
This is the chart we're all looking at.
Yeah. Classic.
So the last time we pulled the 3 on the DeMarker,
yeah,
there are 3 here. We bounced, and believe me, I'm not saying this is the line in the sand. I'm not definitely taking a position in the IWM or taking their relative stocks and taking a trip for a week and said I got the double bottom and I'm going to go away. This could very easily turn into a catastrophe predicated upon what's going on with the other stocks. Considering the technology stocks, but I wouldn't consider this. I do like the fact, although the volume is skewed into the OPEX, pardon me, I do like the fact that when it capitulates with volume, it gets everybody out, but the OPEX skews it, so I'm not sure.
Yeah.
Anytime it comes to this line here, volume, red bar volume, red bar volume. But like I said, not to be redundant, it was skewed. So I'm not sure.
What kind of low I call this after all these hits? A hope low.
No, you never. Listen.
It's a hope that it
never
holds
trade
again.
on.
It's a hope. That's all it
Right.
is.
So there's the IWM. Riven, seeing some few names in bounce interest. Like I said before in Riven, and I put it in TGH. It went to I was holding. I said yesterday. I said, how could you not buy this? And I'm long and still long, and I have a mark in it. But the longer it held that pressure and didn't, it felt like. The NASDAQ was pulling back and pulling back and pulling back, and it felt like Riven had a beach ball underwater. You know what I mean? It was about to go, like Tesla did. But the longer it didn't do something, now they just said it went from 23 to 2180. It's a big move when I ever consider a nice position.
And you've seen no put buying in Amazon the past 3 days.
Coach, you know what? If I have, I didn't. It's been a lot going on.
Okay.
I didn't. My
it's hard
job
to believe they weren't. They weren't there for. We're talking 7% move in 3 days. Almost.
There's
10.
the Riven chart.
Okay.
Coming 2180 to 2250, and it was no, I'm not pushing back your point. Amazon at 7% move, you said, in 3 days.
Yeah.
That's right to the gap. Well, hold on.
165 was the high.
Yeah, there it is. It broke the.
146.
It broke the important short-term moving average at the 10 and 21 day. Now
I'm looking for 112, the big moving average.
Okay, I wouldn't listen. Why would I? First of all, you've been right, and second of all, why would I? I get it. That's your plan, and that's the extension. I wanted to make one point that Mark D asked me about yesterday about getting in and out of positions maybe too early. One of the best things about being an experienced trader or basically a no ego trader, not to say you do, is that the way I reevaluate things is suppose I'm getting hurt in something like a cava, for example. I'm able to reevaluate that position and be non-biased. If I wasn't in that specific position as of now, what would I do? Would I be long it? Would I start a position? Would I not start a position? Would it be a no play? And that's how I'm able to. Obviously, some losers let go, and some winners, you let go. But
that's a great teaching.
And I hope you would be too. Well, for example, if I own Riven and it got back down there, would I buy Riven if I didn't own it at that price? Right. Would I wait?
So you pretend you're flat.
Yeah, always pretend you're flat, and then that's how I reevaluate it. And
that's a great coaching
then I start flat, and then I say, okay, is this stock taking option positions? Why is it down? Why is it not acting in the way it should? If it's a product of the market, if it's a product of poor tag-alongs in the sentiment, is it down on low volume? Is it holding the proper technicals? So the good thing is, after all this time, is not getting emotional. Everybody knows I'm not. You shouldn't be. And I just take it for what it is. You know, I got it. I take it for what it is.
That's a skill.
Am I seeing the option flow now? No. Meta, that's what I wanted to point
What's
out.
Google doing? That's been one of the leaders, and
that was the strongest one until yesterday.
yeah. Okay. And also the home builders have gotten whacked. I think Mark in our room said they should be sold. I think it was
He's
last week.
short the ITB, and I wouldn't talk him out of it. But the ITB almost looks like the IWM. I'm not going to lie.
Yeah, it does. They all have that look of being on
But
the
the
verge.
weakest one was Pulte Homes because it was below all the moving averages. I pointed that now. That might be one I want to consider, although it's one of Tepper's favorite. We'll go to the leaders, Lennar. All right, that's a little sloppy, but it is in a trend line. That's up to you. Lennar, Toll Brothers, the other big daddy. That looks pretty bearish. And let's go to DHI, DH Horton. So it moves out of it. So to me, if you want to do something, it was what? Toll Brothers, and it was PHM if you want to be short. The ITB is obviously it's an index, and some of them are stronger than others, just like the market is like now. Some stocks are way stronger than others in the respective sector. That's why it really is stock picking until something changes.
Right. You could even have the right sector in the wrong stock nowadays, where it won't lift. It lifts, it will, the weak sisters will rally in sympathy, but they'll go down faster too. So what other sectors are you paying attention to? How about interest rate related sectors? Utilities or anything like that?
They had a great run. You know what? They had a great run. Now you know what? Everybody didn't want. Hold on. Everybody didn't want them. They had a nice rip. AEP, which I personally like. I mean, that's a big move for utilities. 75 to 80.
Yeah.
It's what is that? Almost 11. So the Utes, I don't know.
Start getting back over 81. It's going to look like negates the breakdown. That could be
XLU. Another couple of them. I'm not really I get it. Okay. Lean's really good at the Utes. She follows them all the time. I really listen to Lean. Okay. But here's Morgan Stanley again, back below the 200-day. Not a good example. Not a good move. Looks like the market's going down there. Where's the VIX? The VIX, I believe, is pulling back a little bit, but we'll see what happens. They're buying the SQQQs. Are these still hanging in there? All right, they're basically at the high of the day. I mean, this is a big move on these things, 17 to 19. So this is the one they're buying by option flow. This is the chart. I don't care if they make widgets. Obviously, it's a triple ETF. You don't put much credence in the chart, but even algo-wise, and it's acting properly on a chart basis. It's those ETFs. Pardon me. All those three moving averages were really short-term indicators in one day, and it's acting appropriately as it should.
Higher low a few weeks ago from the July low. Looks like a wave 3 or C underway.
Yeah. Okay. And that's it right now. Any other questions from anybody?
No.
Next time, stop yourself out. Paul's very good at Paul here is very good at he rules. He's maybe a former.
He's like a special forces trader.
He's a special force. Good. I'm almost CMG may have to raise prices to $20 an hour. VIX expansion. Smells like a bear market day.
Yep.
Okay, what else? Let's go through a couple of my guys. We'll leave it there. Obviously, the small caps, I posted that before. And that's it. Instacart's public, more wedge drops today. That's important. From the guy that created TrendSpider.
Wedge breakdowns?
No, it's wedge. A lot of wedge drops.
Okay. All right. Well, 4,200. Yeah. 4,200. I think
like this. Amazon down 3%.
Mid-October. Yeah.
Amazon down 3% is like the sky's falling. I get it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? But you know what? It's needed. I think the bull and the bears both want it. It's one of these situations. The bears wanted to pull back because people have been short it probably since the spring. And the bulls want a little bit, probably would, it's still in a trend, nice trend.
You know what, Mike? People didn't have to take my sell recommendation in Amazon up there last week, but to get short. But I hope they heeded it to liquidate some of their long positions in Amazon.
Well, it's more indicative of the market as well. Just like you say, down goes Apple. You know,
Yeah.
Apple already made its move, so maybe down goes Amazon. There's a little bit of more of a correction.
Apple's not through making its move. 150.
No, I know
think
Dan
is
Niles is its biggest short position. Not that he's the judge and the
Oh.
jury, but
Really? Okay. All right. Well, good luck, Dan. Thank you, Mike, for hanging out with me. And, you know, great lesson. I'd say the key moment of this stream is everybody, when you're making a decision about a trade that you're already in, pretend you're not, look at it like you're flat and ask yourself, would you be a buyer or a seller here? And
don't
at
let
the end, or
don't
nothing.
don't do that with your wife, or you're regretting asking that every day. Would I marry her again? Don't do it with your wife, but
All
do
right,
it with
Mike.
trading.
That too is very good advice. So you're on a roll.
No.
Good hunting, my trading warrior brother. And to everyone else out there, don't just count your pips, count your blessings. And we'll see you in the room. It's getting busy.
Okay, it is. And by the way, I'm always in the room. You have to ask. I'm not a squawk box, if you will. One of the greatest things that I pride myself are answering things right away. So thank you for everybody sharing. We're getting really a lot more
Great
more
moderator.
flow in there. Really are.
A great moderator providing content. Moderators usually don't do that. They just moderate. Mike does both. He interacts and provides a lot of great content. And quantity of a lot of great content. All right, buddy.
Thanks, Coach. You make it easy. And you are my commodity mentor as well. Fact.
Well, it's good to have one mentee. That's all I could say.
Okay, cheers, everybody.
Take it easy.
Trade well. Be aware of the plan. I posted in TGH about Powell. Stocks are certain stocks are speaking today. I'll keep posting option flow. Volume and price action are tantamount now going into a Powell decision. So don't be holding losers, because if his talk doesn't go your way, it's going to cascade even worse. Then you're going to be bound 2 times, maybe 3 times as much, and you'd be stuck in a position that you don't want to be in. So be prudent. I'm going to do the same.
Yes, don't be. I put out a tweet because I told you, Mike, that everyone I talk to says, well, yeah, I'm short-term negative, but they're all looking to get long and ride the melt up to new highs by year end. And they'll all come out and say, yeah, I'm a little negative here short term, but I'm not looking for a crash. So I put out a tweet that people, without me even asking them, oh, are you looking for a crash? They're going to know. They want to make sure that they're not associated with those guys who have been calling for one that have been bear, BEAR, asked, ASSED. They don't want to be embarrassed to say there would be a crash.
Well, the majority of Twitter is you really look for things that you want to hear. That's what you do. You know what I mean?
I
You have to be pragmatic. Nobody. That's why I follow 87 people. You know what I mean?
Yeah. You mean people look for the same people to reinforce their
I
ideas.
look for solutions, not excuses.
Yeah, I like to see the other side. So, I like to look and see what people who are on the other side are saying, what their arguments are. Keep an open mind. You'll keep your account open. And Mike and I'll see you tomorrow.
Thanks. Trade well, everybody. Have a plan. Coach, thank you for making me better as well. Cheers.
Adios, buddy.